So today we are going to study about one of the most asked question for class 10 standard. And since you're all going to appear for term 2, I think it would be highly helpful if you're going to do this question. So before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Mahima and I'm a master teacher at ODA Class. And if you want to learn interesting topics, you can definitely download this app, and there you would be learning a lot of topics. You will also be solving questions related to that. And we have a very interesting course for you all, which is starting this Monday. And in that particular course, which is of very reasonable price, you will be having 6 classes and you will be studying science as well as math, right? And the best part about this particular course or any course at ODA class is that there will be a mentor teacher, a personalized mentor teacher, right? अगर आपकी एग्जाम्स चल रही होगी और आपकी कोई डाउट्स हैं, so definitely there will be a teacher who will be there to help you or assist you, and that is the time you require somebody to guide you, isn't it? Especially when you're writing examination. So that is the best part about ODA class. There are personalized mentor teachers who will help you, who will guide you, and who will be your support system, right? So you can download the app and you can definitely enroll for the bridge course if you want to learn more. To speak about myself a little more, I'm a master teacher at ODA Class. I have been a teacher here from past 2.5 years. I've done my graduation from VIT Vellore and my post-graduation, which is MTech in Biotechnology from IIT Hyderabad. So from past 6.5 years, I've been teaching students like you all and your seniors, preparing them for various competitive examinations like NEET, KVPY, etc. So today I thought I'll bring a question which might be helpful for you all for your term 2 examination, right? And the topic is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So how do organisms reproduce is a chapter of high weightage for term 2 examination, right? So here is a question which was asked: name the parts A, B, C shown in the following diagram and state the function of each, right? So let's look at this image. First of all, you all know that it is a picture of flower. And students, you might also get a question to draw a flower as well. So I hope you're all practicing drawing skill as well. टर्म 1 के लिए आपको लिखना नहीं पड़ा था, लेकिन टर्म 2 के लिए आपको लिखना पड़ेगा. सो राइटिंग हैबिट यू हैव टू definitely practice, right? And also draw diagrams, well labeled diagrams. So let's come to this particular labeling, right? And this labeling is a anther. Yes, so anther, definitely you know, it is the portion in flower which contains the male gamete, right? So you all know the 4 different parts of flower, if I have to discuss, right? So flower is basically, if it is a bisexual flower like hibiscus, then it will have 4 whorls, right? What are the 4 whorls? Very quickly I'll mention here, although you know it as of now. So the 4 whorls are, starting from the bud stage, there will be a whorl of sepals which are green in color, right? So the whole whorl is called as calyx, है ना? So 4 whorls है, तो पूरे वो लेयर को, पूरे वो whorl को calyx कहते हैं. जैसे मेरा हाथ है, so this is the entire whorl, right? And each of this digit will be the sepal. ठीक है? So calyx is made up of green structures called as sepal. And if we talk about the second one, which is corolla, corolla comes out when the bud blooms. So when it is in the budding stage, the sepal will be protecting, the whole layer of sepal will be protecting the flower, correct? And corolla comes out when the bud blooms. So corolla will be that whorl which contains petals, which are very colorful. You all see flowers in your daily life, isn't it? They're very pretty. And corolla is that part which gives that beauty to the flower, isn't it? Because it is colorful and it is made up of structures called as petals, right? So whole whorl is called as corolla. So these are non-essential. Why is it non-essential? Because it is not really helping in the process of reproduction, right? They are there, they have a particular function definitely, but they do not contain the male or female gametes or the reproductive units. So the essential whorls, if I talk about, the essential whorls will be androecium, androecium. That is the whorl which contains the male gamete within the stamen. So if we consider this one stamen, this is one stamen right here, and this part is the filament, right? And this part over here is the anther. Okay, so it is within this anther the male gamete is present. So many male gametes are present, and the term is dehiscent, right? So when anther dehisces, it is going to release a lot of gametes. Correct. Now these gametes have one motive, which is to find the female gamete, right? So it reaches the female gamete through different agents. We will talk about that in the upcoming question. So coming back to the labeling, you understand now that A is anther, and if we see the function of anther, what is it? I have discussed as of now that it contains, anther contains the male gamete. ठीक है? Anther contains the male gamete. यहाँ तक clear है? So you can write that and you will be getting that 1 mark. Now coming to B, what exactly is B? So B is basically that part which is called as style, right? Style, and that is a part of the female reproductive system. Okay, and female reproductive system, if we have to discuss, it starts with the stigma. Stigma, ST, sticky. It is sticky in nature. So stigma is sticky in nature, and it is followed by a style which ends in a bulbous structure called as ovary. ये आपको दिख रहा है bulb जैसा structure है. It is called as ovary, and within that ovary, ovules are present. Within the ovule, female gamete will be present. Right, students? So the fourth essential wall. What is the fourth essential wall? I'm going to erase some part of it. Yes, so the four essential whorl, now you know calyx, corolla is there, right? So the fourth essential whorl is going to be the gynoecium, है ना? Gynoecium, right? And gynoecium consists of 3 parts. What are the 3 parts? It will be stigma. I hope you're repeating after me. Yes, you know this. Style and the bulbous ovary. Now the question is what? The question is B ka kya function hai? What is the function of style here? The function of style is to help in the passage of the male gamete, right? The male gamete falls on the stigma, right? Male gamete falls on the stigma, and from here it basically continues through the style to reach the female gamete, which is present inside C. Fine. Okay, so now I'm going to explain all of this one whole time. Yes, so A is basically anther, which we have discussed. It contains male gamete. Yes, it contains the male gametes. लिख देती हूँ because there are more than one gametes there. Correct? And B, we have discussed just now, is the style, and style allows the passage of pollen tube. Okay, what is pollen tube? Pollen tube is that structure which is formed by the pollen grain as it falls on the stigma and it continues through the style. Ultimately it reaches C. C can be ovary or ovule, right? So we can write it as ovary, and within ovary what is present? Female gamete is present. Okay, it consists of egg cell. Okay, and egg cell is basically the female gamete. Right, students? So I hope this is clear for all of you. And now we are going to proceed to the next question, which is this. A similar question related to sexual reproduction in flowering plants. What is pollination? What is pollination? And distinguish between cross-pollination and self-pollination. Yes, and mention the site and product of fertilization in a flower. The second part is to draw the label diagram. So ये दोनों मिला के 5 mark का question है. So the first part is of 3 marks. Second part will be of 2 marks, right? And you will have to draw the diagram. So I reminded you all, you need to practice the diagrams. Okay, so let's discuss what is pollination first. Pollination, you can see in this GIF also, is that process of gamete transfer. जब gamete transfer होता है fertilization के पहले, उस process को pollination कहते हैं, है ना? So pollination is, if you write as a 1 mark question, It is the transfer of pollen grains from where? From the anther to the stigma, right? To the stigma. You can see an agent also which helps in the process. What is this agent? This is butterfly, right? And butterfly comes within the class Insecta. Yes. So an insect is basically helping in the process of pollination, right? So this process of pollination is assisted by an agent, which is a biotic agent, which is living, and that is butterfly. There are some other biotic agents also, right? Like bat, it helps. There are frugivorous bats, right? So they also help in this process. Okay. Now, what are the two types of pollination? You must have seen a lot of flowers in your daily life, correct? So you can see more than one flower in a plant, right? So if pollen grains is falling on the stigma of the same flower, or another very important aspect is another flower of the same plant, ठीक है? So self pollination का key word is not same flower, it is same plant, right? So if pollination or the transfer of gamete is happening within the same flower or different flower of the same plant, that process is called as self-pollination. All right. And what is the keyword for cross-pollination? Cross-pollination is basically when there are two plants involved. Two plants are definitely there. But the keywords are same species. ये दोनों flowers जब same species के हैं, then only the pollination will be successful, right? Otherwise also transfer can happen, but transfer will not result in fertilization, correct? So cross pollination is that process when pollen grain from one flower is placed on the stigma of another flower of a different plant of the same species. ठीक है बच्चों? So now you should include all these keywords in your answer sheet also. That's the whole purpose of discussing such questions, right? So I hope this is clear for you. You can also draw a table whenever distinguishing or differentiate wale questions jab aate hain. So you can draw a table that gives more clarity to the teacher who's correcting it, right? And they get a picture that you understand the concept. Okay, so I suggest you not to write paragraphs in your answer sheet, and you can make it as concise as possible with the keywords. Again, the same question was asked another time. Define the term pollination, differentiate between self and cross-pollination. What is the significance of cross-pollination? Or what is the significance of pollination as a whole? So this question was asked in 2020 science paper, CBSE के. ठीक है? So same questions आते रहते हैं, which is why we are discussing the most asked question. So here also you know what is pollination. We have already discussed. We have also discussed differentiate between the both. What is the significance of pollination? I would suggest you to pause this video and you can think what will be the significance. Okay, and if you have done, then let's understand that बिना pollination के sexual reproduction नहीं हो सकता. The plant cannot continue to live, or it cannot continue, or it cannot make the species continue, right? So pollination is a necessary process for the perpetuation of species. The word is perpetuate. Okay, perpetuation, और आप लिख सकते हो continuation of the species. Sexual reproduction is important because it brings variations, right? A plant can undergo asexual reproduction also. Most of the plants can undergo asexual reproduction, but sexual reproduction, if it happens, actually it brings about a lot of variation, and for that to happen, pollination should happen, right, students? So I hope you have understood this question, and I hope, sincerely hope, that this kind of question comes, right, since the frequency of this is really high in the previous board papers. And to do similar questions, you can download our app, which is the ODA Class app, and it is a great live learning platform, right? The best part is that we do have a demo course of 6 days, which is starting on Monday. So if you're watching this video, you can definitely download it and you can enroll for this bridge course starting on Monday. There will be 3 classes of science and 3 classes of math, personalized mentor teacher. So we have a dual teacher model, right? There is a master teacher in the class and the mentor teacher whenever you need guidance as you study alone for your examinations, etc., right? So your personal teacher will also be there, and we provide e-books as well, And these ebooks will be having different kind of questions, easy level, difficult level, and all of those, so you can practice, right? And practice is really, really important. So you can use the link which is given in the description, students, and you can download it as soon as possible. Also, you earn coins as you learn, right? So you are earning rewards for learning, which is the best part. And as you accumulate a lot of rewards, you can buy exciting things from the ODA mall, which includes water bottles, MI bands, etc. Right? So I'll see you all again with another question. Thank you so much.